So there's something about this Howard situation that just was not sitting right with me. Why are there so many GoFundMe's? Why are there so many Kickstarters? Why do so many kids owe so much tuition? Every other video on my For You page was a Howard student reaching out for help. Over the last 3 days, I talked to 35 to 40 families and students. I did some digging. I did some investigating. And all you know-it-alls in my comments that has so much to say, be prepared for me to tell you you're loud and wrong, because something's going on. It's not just a matter of irresponsible parents, irresponsible students. You didn't follow the money. You didn't get the best aid package that you could. You knew this was a private school. You knew how much tuition was. It's not that. Something else is going on. So let's back up a little bit. The system that you all used to use, Bison Hub or Bison Web, is no longer being utilized. They replaced it with a different system. Access HU, Canvas, and Workday are now being used. In the midst of that switch, classes weren't being counted, credits were being lost, scholarships were disappearing, and new balances started to appear. Students who had a zero balance were now having charges from 1, 2, or 3 years ago for classes and housing. Oh, and housing has doubled. And the amount you owe in the system is not the same as the amount on the payment site where you can make a payment. The numbers don't match. They're not adding up. On June 4th, students and families received emails in a very threatening tone. Howard wanted their money, and they wanted it now. Immediate payment with threats of collections if they didn't get their money. Some housing fees were doubled at the last minute. Some students were charged for last year's room and last year's board after all of that had been marked paid. Here's where it gets weird and suspicious. Some students and some families are being offered aid and loans and payment plans, while other families and other students are being denied aid, denied loans, and denied payment plans. Some families have been told they have until July 31st to pay, and some families have until August 29th to pay. Now, why is that? The scholarships that the kids are winning and getting, they're not being allowed to apply that to their old prior balance. Of course, students and parents and families are reporting no communication, rude communication, unhelpful communication. People are even trying to reach out to the president and the trustee board with no luck. One family I talked to said they had a zero balance, they received a refund check, and now Howard is trying to charge them for that refund check to get that money back for their clerical error. Students are also being mistreated by their professors, ignored by administration. They're not getting any help at all. That brings us to today. Did you know that there's a FAFSA financial aid poolside chat on Thursday, July 17th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? Did you know there's a Zoom? Do you have the link? I have it if you want it. There's one link for you to register and another link for you to ask your questions, because I have a feeling this webinar, they're going to turn the chat off. And students can't get their transcripts. They can't sign up for their own health insurance. They have to take the college's health insurance. While you're in your payment plan, you can't enroll. You remain unenrolled. All of a sudden, you see these fees, like the kids were telling me in the comments. You have thousands of dollars on your balance with no warning, out the blue. This is why you're seeing all these GoFundMe's on your FYP. These kids have no recourse. They have nowhere else to go. This is shameful. Borderline damn near criminal. Students and families deserve transparency, dignity, and respect. They're not getting it. If you are a current Howard student and this sounds like you and your story, drop something in the comments. Email me if you have a GoFundMe. Send me that also. Tell me your story. If you are a Bison and an alum, reach out to leadership. Use your connections. Help these kids instead of criticizing them in my comments. And if this is the first you're hearing about it, like, comment, share, repost, spread this story all over the place. This is what's been happening at Howard University. Let's help these kids today.